to another exciting episode of Wave the Brush with me, your host, Kris, aka Mini Wargamer Kris, aka the Name Butcher, aka his phone keeps going off. Wave the Brush, the most informative 120 minutes on the internet on the wargaming lifestyle. We'll talk about painting, terrain conversions, and everything under the sun. We usually delve into a lot of painting talk as well as a lot of what's under the sun, meaning no topics are barred. We'll talk about anything and everything. So if you're a first-time viewer, that is a bit of a warning, as the conversation can diverge into many different directions, not just the hobby, but we could talk about anything. So who knows? We could go anywhere. So, and of course, if you are attending live, you can ask your questions over in the chat, whichever direction it might be in, or down below, one of the two. And of course, you can also send me an email, Kris@miniwargaming.com. It is in the description below. Send me an email. You can, and you can ask your questions. If you're not able to attend live, you can send pictures, send them as attachments in the email, and I'll read them on the show. And of course, you can, ask your questions. You can look for advice. You can even just show off what you're working on. If you just want to show off what you're working on, and hey, I fully endorse that. And, I welcome it. I wholeheartedly welcome it. And of course, in the description below is a link to wayofthebrush.com. It is the central hub of all of this silliness. Has links to all the social medias, the Instagrams, Twitters, and things like that. Discord, we are over on Discord, as you can see over here. Way of the Brush Discord has been fantastic. It's been a great way of communicating with you guys, staying in touch, and of course, usually after the show, we usually jump over to Discord, and we kind of do like a post-show kind of thing. It's like the after party kind of thing. Whatever that is. We're not really partying, but well, it could be a party. I don't know. But either way, wayofthebrush.com also has links for t-shirts. Want to get yourself a Way of the Brush t-shirt? Look like a connoisseur of all that is good and holy in this universe. They're wearing a Way of the Brush t-shirt. And of course, for all the monkeys who have purchased shirts, send a picture of yourself in your shirt, and I will add it to the Monkey Shrine, which is also a link on wayofthebrush.com. And it's just fun because this whole thing is all about you guys, helping you guys, and loving the hobby that we all love. And so why not spread the love around? Wayofthebrush.com also has a link for Patreon support. If you feel it that you'd like to contribute. I only ever charge per episode of Way of the Brush. I do produce other videos, just a tip, and other stuff as well, other goofy kind of videos, whatever, right? But I only ever charge for Way of the Brush, and I only ever do Way of the Brush on Saturdays, so once a week. So I guess you can kind of work out, what you would be contributing. And, of course, big thank you to all my patrons as well for who currently support me and have been supporting me for quite a while. And, without their support, a lot of the upgrades and a lot of the upkeep for this and making this really fantastic program and, being able to do this. And, of course, it's incentivizing me to do it and to keep doing it. And so, why not, right? Keep giving back. And, of course, there's always an influx of new people coming into this hobby. And, they need help. And, so that's kind of my job, is to help people, dispel a lot of the fog that surrounds a lot of the information. There's so much information out there, and a lot of people, it just kind of overwhelms them. And so I can help guide you to what you need and, developing good habits from the start. So, also on wayofthebrush.com is what is it? I can't even remember what else is there. Just go to wayofthebrush.com. It's all there. Just go. It's in the description below. Just go. Check it out. It's a lot of fun. It has the links for all the shows and all that goodness. And big thank you to Guymere Alfer, aka Carl, aka Beer and Blood Bowl. That is his YouTube channel. If you love yourself some beer and you love yourself some Blood Bowl, do check out Beer and Blood Bowl. We always say thank you to Guymere because he took the time out of his busy day to create the email jingles that play before the email segments of the show. And so, always a big thank you to him for creating these fantastic things that are just a lot of fun. They just add so much atmosphere and, put a smile on our faces. And, of course, blow out our eardrums every once in a while, especially if anybody's not paying attention and they don't take off their headset and when the music plays. But I'd imagine some of you guys are already probably pretty used to that by now. What else is their usual intro spiel? So I posted on Instagram for anybody who's following me on Instagram, and why wouldn't you be? I posted a certain somebody. He's still work in progress. We'll get to him a little bit later, but yeah. So, you know, for anybody out there, anybody used to watch SCTV when they used to do the cheap 3D effects, you know, so anyway, that's that. That's all I have to say about that for the moment. We'll talk about him later, but head over to my Instagram, and you'll see bit clearer pictures of his mug, as it were. He's still work in progress, still lots to do on him. I was going to try and get him done for the weekend, but just time permitting and just, you know, other things and just, you know, no time. Let's head over to the chat. Kevin Cabal, yeehaw! Paint Monkey Saturday. Paint Monkey Saturday. I kind of like that. Paint Monkey Saturday. It's just Saturday. You know, a lot of us, you know, have free time on the weekend. And hopefully, you know, you're working on something today. Hopefully, you are inspired. The sun is starting to shine here in North America and getting warmer. We had just snow last night, but it's all already gone. It's not even, well, it's 12 o'clock now, but it wasn't even quite 12 o'clock and the snow is already gone. So, Jim White, did you get any emails or will this be a short show? I did get one email from Dr. Santos. So, if you got an email brewing, and if you got one in the chamber, you know, no, that doesn't sound right either. I don't know. Anyway, I've only got one to do, so yeah, it might be a short show. Dark Commission, hi Kris and Monkey Folk. Hello, Dark Commission. Ghost of Starman Deluxe. Shit, I forgot daylight savings hasn't happened here yet. Yeah, so right now I'm only, what, minus 4 hours GMT? So, yeah. Derek Luterus, hey everybody. Ramvi, hey you monkeys, hey you Kris. Johnny Chop Shop, the Thunderdome for monkeys. The Thunderdome. 2 enter and 1 leaves. Dr. Santos, hello monkeys and Lord. Kevin Cabal, the Monkey Dome. The Monkey Dome. You know what? Maybe if I kind of don't want to do it, but like something like that, you know, something fun. The Monkey Dome, okay? Imagine, okay? This is just off the top of my head. Monkey Dome, right? Kind of a pseudo kind of competition for the monkeys. It would be open for everybody, of course, but kind of like a painting comp sort of thing, but we'll call it the Monkey Dome, right? So we whittle it down to 2 contenders, and then we let everybody vote on who beats who, kind of thing. The thing is, though, is I'm not really a huge fan of that kind of competition. I'm not really against it or anything like that, but you know, it's not something that, you know, really gets me going. But I think for something fun, and especially having a prize, you know, maybe for the 2, and you know, maybe something for first place, and maybe for something for second place, kind of thing. Maybe it's something. It's an idea. Somebody remind me of that one. Send me a message or whatever on Discord. Just remind me of that, because maybe that's something we'll try and do by summertime. Maybe we'll do, you know, the Monkey Dome. We'll start it in like the beginning of June, and then we'll have the winners decided, you know, beginning of August kind of thing, or maybe near the end of August, you know what I mean? Just before everybody's, you know, getting back into the fall and, you know, the end of the season kind of thing. Maybe. Yeah, I think so, right? Because then by then I can, you know, drum up, you know, prize support and stuff for it, and, you know, yeah. Maybe. It's a big maybe. But it'd be kind of fun. And we'll call it the Monkey Dome. I kind of like that, the Monkey Dome. 2 monkeys enter, 1 monkey leaves. Dr. Santos, how be things here? Things so far are going pretty well. Old Man Logan, hello Kris, my friend, and hello all. Hello, Old Man Logan. Sir Peanut Butter, howdy Kris and monkeys. Caw King 5555, monkey time. Old Man Logan, oh, don't let Kris fool you. We do party after show. We do party. There is a massive party. Dr. Santos, Patreon keeps Kris equipped with coffee and whiskey. I do have some Christmas cheer in here. I was going to say I Irished my coffee, but I am drinking Irish cream in my coffee. So, but then I made it more Irish. Well, I guess, no, I did make it more Irish because I picked up a bottle of Bushmills, and so, cheers. I don't know what the Irish, you know, salute is, but it's that. There we go. The voice of the Emperor. Howdy, monkeys. How's Tricks? How's Tricks? How is Tricks? I don't know. How's Tricks? How's Tricks? Johnny Chop Shop. Patreon equals beer money. Yeah, you know. Raziel. I am here, but also at work. Ooh, omnipresent. Voice of the Emperor at Kris. Hey, just sent you an email of my Black Legion test model. I mentioned last week that I'd be testing Black Ink out. Excellent. 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 And I do have a Black Legion test model in my emails. So we will get to that today because we can. And we will. We shall. Cocking 5555. No. Jim White. I watched SCTV back in the day and liked the cheap 3D effects. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway. And if you've not watched SCTV, it's some classic Canadian comedy. Like, it's back when, like, John Candy, Eugene Levy, Andrea Martin, Catherine O'Hara, all those famous Canadians before they were really famous. Anyway, it was a fantastic show. And, of course, Doug and Bob McKenzie, you know, classic characters from that. And, of course, what was the one, Martin Short's? Oh, that little nerd. What was his name? I can't remember now. Anyway. Nidfink, hello, everyone. Hello. Dr. Zantos, only one email? Not good. Something said, not good. Sorry, I'm on my second pot right now. So, yeah, I might seem a little bit, you know. But, yeah. Anyway. Dr. Zantos, monkeys, get your emails done ASAP. Dark Commission episode 244. 2 monkeys enter, 1 monkey leaves. You know what? I like it. We'll use that for now. We're going to use that for now. Dark Commission, because, yeah, that'll also help remind me of the idea. And, you know, it's important to remember these ideas. It's kind of like writing them down, really, like, with these kinds of things, like, you know, giving these shows goofy titles and such. Yeah, so it kind of helps me. Nitfink, you could do Zenny competition Monkey Dome. Models painted with non-dominant hands, only using a toothpick, etc. Ooh. So make it like a non-conventional type painting competition. So it's not necessarily skill-based, but more ingenuity-based. Interesting. Nitfink, you're such a clever monkey. You always have good ideas. I'm going to want a chunk of your brain for study. It's awful. Because, I mean, you know, the monkey's brains, you know, the whole monkey experiment. Anyway. Dark Commission, blindfolded and drunk. Yeah, there you go. Blindfolded and drunk. Man, like, the ideas are just flowing now. They're just flowing. Because, I mean, like, we can make this the painting competition to beat all the other painting competitions. I mean, who cares how nicely a painted model is? I mean, you know, it's always the same folks we see, and, you know, time and time again, you know what I mean? And whereas if we had blindfolded drunkenness and we have, you know, using a toothpick or using your non-dominant hand, or, you know what I mean? Like, or all of the above at the same time, you know. Oh, man, you know what? Yes. What if, because, now, see, this would take some serious, I don't know if, I guess we'd have to roll out some serious support for this, but what if this was something we did at Mini Wargaming Bunker? What if we did this as, you know, a weekend kind of event? Oh, you know what, though? I don't know if the boys would support people getting loaded and painting, though. That's kind of a tough one. That's a hard sell. It's a hard sell. But it's possible. But anyway, as an actual people come in and compete for the Monkey Dome. And we'll have, but if we're having people come in, I mean, like, I'd want to have serious prize support, you know? Like, yeah. Interesting. Let's keep the brain, let's keep this churning, because, you know, I mean, we have talked in the past about doing some sort of, you know, kind of, not contest, but, you know, competition type thing. And I think something like this would be a lot of fun. Definitely. And I'm about fun. Mini Wargaming is about having fun. And yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't want anybody coming in being all, no, this is, I took 5 years to paint this and here it is. And, you know, I mean, great and all. Don't get me wrong. Great and all. But it's not really what I want. Because I want to promote the happiness. You know what I mean? The happiness that this hobby provides so many of us. And should be providing so many of us, right? Because so many of us have, you know, a lot of things going on in our lives, and, you know, being able to really enjoy this time is important, and it's special, and, you know, it's something we look forward to, you know, and it's to some people, they don't get it, which is fine, because some of what other people get excited about, I don't understand either. So, you know, to each his own. But for all of us who like to sit down, play our games, play with the models, paint the models, you know what I mean? Convert the models, whatever, right? This hobby, it's all encompassing on what you can do, and, you know, and it involves many different skill sets, you know? We were talking about motorizing models, and, you know, again, that involves electronics and things like that. And I mean, like that totally has a place within this hobby. Lights, motors, right? Making these little stompas walk. Like, that'd be awesome. It's awesome. So, I applaud it all the time. I applaud it. And it's the kind of stuff that gets me fired up. DM Duncan. Hey, guys. Hey. Ebb and Flow. Sup, everybody? Sophie Weil. Yay! The comment moved on me. Yay! Brush Saturday stream. Sorry, I was going along with it. Yay! Anyway, I was like Peter Griffin. Yeah! Peter, you're a little heavy. Yeah! We're going down. Anyway. Johnny Chop Shop. A chunk of brain in the mail. Ugh. By the time it gets here, it'll probably all dried up. Canada Post is slow. DM Duncan. I'm game for that competition. Yeah. Oh, okay. I got it. I know how we can encompass everybody and still do a live event or like an in-person event. Is we have it do like semifinals kind of thing, and then the champions meet, right? Kind of thing. It's an idea, just right off the top of my head. Sir Peanut Butter. Kris wants chilled monkey brains. Very Temple of Doom. You know what? Chilled monkey brains. I'd be willing to try that. Sure. You know, when I was younger, I seen like calf brains in the grocery stores, and I was like, whoa, what the heck? But then, you know, you try it, and it's good. So, anyway. for all the people who have an aversion to meat, it's like, oh no. Don't eat brains. Anyway, Nid Fink, you could take video submissions. That might be extra work for you to edit, but it definitely would watch that show. Yes, taking video submissions. Yes, another excellent idea. Of course, it would require somebody to record themselves doing, you know, their piece, and, you know, which maybe again is entirely feasible. It's, you know, all options are on the table. So, why not, right? Old Man Logan. But that 5-year paint job gave me 5 years of happiness. What better way to share that? Sure. Nothing against the 5-year paint job. Nothing against it. But it's already been done lots. Right? And me, I mean, come on, you guys know Kris. I like to innovate. I like to go off the beaten path. I like to think outside the box. I like innovation. And this kind of idea, this might be something that could be a complete bust, or it could be a complete success, or somewhere in between, right? We don't know until we try it. So I'm thinking, yeah, something hilarious like this, something fun, you know? They used to have the kind of thing at Games Days, when Games Workshop used to do the Games Days, you know, like the speed painting competition, but not so much the speed painting competition. I'm just thinking of something, you know, challenging, where you still are kind of trying to paint, but you know what I mean, like you're trying to paint with your other hand, or you're trying to paint with your foot, or with your mouth, or you know what I mean, like these kind of things, like you're still trying to paint and you're still trying to create something that looks good-ish, but you know, you're going about it in non-conventional means. That's what I'm talking about. That's the kind of thing I'm thinking of. Something non-conventional. Johnny Chop Shop. Is Kris turning to The Walking Dead? Yeah, sure, why not? Walking Dead's not a bad show. I've not really watched a lot of the other Walking Dead show, but yeah. Sophie Weil. I'm terrible at painting, but I love painting my minis. Yeah, excellent. That's awesome. I mean, you know, when I got started in this hobby, I was no good, but I enjoyed it. And you know, just kept at it. And because you enjoy it, and because you do it for so long, and you know, like it was probably like back when I started painting, there wasn't a lot of information around, and what information was very scarce. You have to find it here and there and get little nuggets of information. Go and talk to actual people who were more experienced at this, and whereas now, of course, the information's everywhere. It's everywhere, right? Whereas when I was starting, and so it took a long time for me, lots of trial and error, and you know, things not to do, and my progression in this hobby was very, very slow. If I had the internet at 13, that was when I got started in this hobby. At 13, yeah, I probably would be somewhere else in my painting. I might even be out of the painting, realistically, right? Because now with how fast the information is, how fast you can progress, as long as you're willing to put in the time, right? You know, would you go beyond it once you hit a certain kind of level, right? When you kind of, because eventually, imagine, because there's so much information, and especially if you had so much time to practice, and you master all sorts of things, and you know, you felt tackled, and you're looking for new challenges, I imagine you would diverge off into other areas. And would you come back, or would you just continue off on a path heading off into different directions? Who can say? Dark Commission at Kris, did you do the Warrior Picks yet? No, I have not done the Warrior Picks yet. I know, I've just been busy, man. Enforcer 357, good morning, monkeys, good morning. Kevin Cabal, email sent. Sweet. Sorry, I'm keeping my mug in my hand because it's, you know, keeping my hand warm. So, yeah. So, as some of you may or may not have noticed, but I got my hands on an Abaddon. That's spoiler. He's a lot of fun. You know, I've managed to put him together in sub-assemblies. I've been working on him a little bit, and yeah, you know what? Here, I will show off where I'm mostly at with him right now. Now, he is, for the most part, actually not that much glued together. Now, just give me a moment here. I am going to change focus so that we can kind of get a decent look. As I mentioned earlier, I do have this guy on my Instagram, and now my computer's telling me, no, don't do that. So let's change focus a little bit here. And so, yeah. So here is Abaddon. There's a big old shadow on him right now, but yeah. So I painted him in golds, and I actually started off with a base. You can see his armor, the black of his armor. You can see it looks quite shiny. And that's because there is it's a black metal underneath. So I've gone with black metal for his main armor sections. And, yeah, sorry. I've gone with black on his main armor. The black, or the metal I used for that is this. Mission Models. What is this called? Cold rolled steel. That's what this paint's called. From Mission Models. It's sitting on top of a gloss black prime Stynylrez gloss black with a layer of this on it. And this, I tried on a Primaris Marine, and it just looked so nice and deep and dark. Like in the recesses, it was so dark. And I thought, you know, that's excellent. And so I, you know, always kind of kept this in the back of my brain. And then Abaddon showed up, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to start off with a black metal. What I did was I built up layers with Liquitex Carbon Black ink, and that's what he's primarily done with is black and white, just for some highlights and stuff like that. This for the armor, the gold. Oh, the gold. Where's my gold? The gold. I was going to use Vallejo's liquid gold. I just wasn't entirely happy with the luster. Now, it might have been the gold. I know Liquitex, or not Liquitex, Vallejo's liquid gold is really fabulous. And I was a little disappointed, and it wasn't very much luster. But what I did like about it was it covered in just like one stroke, and it was nice. And it was metallic, but it wasn't as lustrous as I wanted. I like a nice shiny gold. So I went to try this. This is Liquitex Iridescent Bright Gold. Now this is an ink. This is gold ink. And I built this up on the model, and you have to put it on about like 3 layers. About 3 layers gets good coverage. But the metal is just so shiny. Like, let me see here. Oh, shoulder pad fell off. But anyway, here. Let's go. I'll click this back in. Click this and move this and change focus again, right about there. And so the gold, you can kind of see how really shiny highlights are bouncing back off the gold. Like if you look at the leg, right, the little face on his knee, you know, the gold is just fabulous. And it's because it's an ink. It applies really, really smooth and really, really minimal. And so I've been really enjoying it as far as painting with it. And so that's what I've been using is this Liquitex Iridescent Bright Gold. That's what I've been doing his armor with. But like I said, you have to do it in a few layers. One layer is not going to do it. You have to do it in a few layers. But because it's an ink and it lays on so nice and smooth in such a thin little layer, that putting 2 layers on, you know, yeah, it's pretty awesome. But again, you have to lay it on top of a gloss black and then apply it. Mind you, it's sitting on top of that metal as well, so, you know, there's a few layers down now, but it's an ink, so it's really, really thin. The armor, like, it's barely any paint on that surface. It's just the metal, which is the black ink, and, you know, it's really, really nice. So far, that's as far as I've gotten with him. I will be doing, I'm going to do him with his cloak, but I haven't even attached his cloak. I still have like his claw hand, and I did that all in metal as a base. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do his claws differently. His sword is going to get done differently. I may actually do a video on how I do his sword. So I might even try and get that filmed maybe this weekend. Maybe, possibly. Depends on how busy I get. Oh, I got to pack up for Adepticon too. So, yeah, gonna be kind of busy. DM Duncan sended you the first pictures of my corn diorama board I promised to send you in last week's show. Oh, the corn diorama board. Yeah, please. Do we have it? Oh, there's a few emails now. Duncan. Yeah, Duncan. Corn diorama. I got it, buddy. I got Kevin Cabal's as well. Sweet. Where the heck am I? Oh, here we go. Enforcer 357. Man, that golden black metal looks amazing. Thank you. So he's really quite shiny at the moment. I am trying to decide whether I want to knock the black to a bit more matte, but I am liking how the black metal looks, because basically what I did was that black metal's laid down, and then I built up a few gradients of the black ink, so that there's a slight transition going from metal to black, and then I threw in light grays and such on top, and I did this little mottling up in the top. It's very, very subtle. It's not very, it's not overt, because I wanted to keep the black of the armor, right? But I also wanted to have just a slight texture in the armor, so, playing around with it, you know what I mean? And like there was a few directions I wanted to go with things like his claw. I was thinking I wanted to do it like red, like the armor of the claw red, just because it's kind of old school that Abaddon took Horus's claw, and the claw was from Horus, and Horus's armor was red at the time. But I think that had more to do with Mike McVeigh and how he painted Horus in his diorama way back in the day. So I don't know, but anyway. DM Duncan also added pics of my first model for it, Korgoth. Cool. That's one nice model. Thank you. Derek Luderus, I just ordered a bunch of Liquitex inks. I'm excited to try them out. Liquitex inks, I like them. And if you're an airbrusher, you know, you can spray them right through your airbrush just fine. There's nothing wrong with it. In fact, with the Liquitex inks, what they feel like to me, like they feel very different. Because like I've used, okay, like Liquitex inks, and I have like India ink, right? And they don't feel the same. And I've used India ink on my models too. Oh, actually, the red of his hair, I used this. You can see it kind of has like a clear red quality to it. You can see it almost looks like blood in there, right? It is blood, actually. It's the blood. Anyway, I used this on his hair to build that, to kind of as a final glaze to just kind of bring all the transitions back together. I may bring more highlights in and then give it maybe another glaze of the red. It's a kind of a blood red, but that ink, yeah, I would use that ink for his hair. So now again, like I said, like a lot of the inks are finishing with kind of a gloss finish. I think because it's drying in such a thin layer, the pigment is nice and rich, and I think because there's that gloss prime underneath, so the entire surface of the model is quite smooth, right? So I think that's why these inks are drying in this fashion, is like looking really shiny, which I'm fine with because I like. It's always better to build up to a gloss, and then if you want, you can knock everything down or knock elements of a model down with matte, and that's fine. You can do that. But if you built up matte and then put a gloss on, the funny things happen. It doesn't quite always work out. Most of the time, I've found in my experience that when I've gone with a heavy matte and then tried to gloss things, that you ended up putting a lot of layers down. It's a huge pain. It's better to always build to a gloss, and then if need be, knock it down. Right? You're always like at the top, and then you can always bring it back down, rather than starting here and then trying to build more up, and it just doesn't, just doesn't happen usually. So, but yeah, if you bought a bunch of the Liquitex inks, yeah, give them a try, man. I also have the FW inks as well, and yeah, all the inks. I mean, they're really fantastic. With those Liquitex inks, though, I find, like as I was mentioning with in comparison with the other inks, is that they feel a bit. I don't know if it's just me, but they feel like there's more medium to it. Whereas the ink, it feels like it just kind of goes and it just kind of spreads out like ink, and it just kind of goes everywhere. Whereas the Liquitex, it hangs out like paint, and it just kind of like a bubble, right? Whereas the other ink kind of just and it heads out and it just goes everywhere, and it just wants to be everywhere kind of thing. Whereas, yeah. So I think that the Liquitex stuff, I think it's their acrylic process, but they've taken it to an extreme, right? To taking it down to an ink, which is nothing wrong with. Is it like a true ink, right? Because I mean, this India ink is ink. I guess is how ink has always been made, right? It's red, it's just black ink. Whereas this Liquitex ink, see, I don't know if it is proper ink or if it's merely an acrylic. But I mean, it could be. I don't know. Again, I don't know how it is made, but because I mean, like they can also do metallics, right? And I mean, typically metallics in an ink form, typically that's the domain of lacquer-based products, right? Whereas this is more like an acrylic, because this doesn't have any scent to it. It doesn't have a funny smell, other than smelling like acrylic paint. So, yeah. Johnny Chop Shop, on next week's episode, Kris shows how to use body paints. I don't know if we really want to watch that episode. I mean, maybe. I don't know. No, I mean, if just grabbing a model in the immediate vicinity, work, what have you. Like, would you really want to watch me applying paint to Steve? Like, good God. You don't really want to see that, do you? That's a horror show in the making. Seriously, it's a horror show. You don't want to see it. I don't want to see it, and if I don't want to see it, I imagine a lot of you don't want to see it. So no. And don't put that idea out there. I mean, you've already done it, but you know. Alrighty then. Johnny Chop Shop. Good news, guys. I think the painkillers have started to work. All right. Dr. Xantos, the first ever Patreon only episode. This episode? As the first ever Patreon only episode? I don't know what you mean. I'm not sure what you mean. You might have to elaborate on that, Dr. Xantos. I'm not sure what you meant by it. Aaron Seach, howdy Kris and Monkey Brethren. Fashionably late entrance this morning. Welcome, Aaron. And again, we're going to see Aaron this week because Aaron's going to be going to Adepticon, as a few of you guys are. And if anybody else is going to Adepticon, be sure to stop and say hi. If you see me walking around or passed out in the hallway drunk, or help a guy out, you know. If you see me on the floor in a puddle of my own urine and vomit, for God's sakes, help me. For God's sakes, I need help. It's a cry for help, for God's sakes. So, you know, lend a brother a hand, for God's sakes. No, I'm just kidding. It might happen. I don't know. But anyway, yeah. So, and of course, anybody who is going to Adepticon, I'll be doing 2 classes. And of course, we also have our big monkey battle on Friday. So, be sure to stop by and check that out. I don't remember where it is. I'm pretty sure Matt posted where it's going to be, but I don't know if I know where it is. I'll find it. I'll wing it. Derek Luteris. When I get them, I'll be sure sniff all the paints. If you want, yeah, it's not gonna be bad. Liquitex, you know, it's acrylic, so it's not like they gotta give off fumes. It's not like lacquer based or anything like that, right? So you should be fine. Maybe. I don't know. Dr. Xantos, I was referring to Johnny's comment about the body paints. Oh, like a Patreon only episode with the body paints. I got you. No. Johnny Chop Shop, first ever Patreon only episode. How do you use body paints? No. Not in that context, as I previously mentioned. I don't think we will do anything like that because... No, come on. Now, mind you, if I could find an attractive model, male or female, sure, you know, or both, right? I don't know if there are any local models that would be willing to do any of that. And besides, I don't have body paints either. I mean, I'm sure I could go find some, but yeah, I don't know. Is that something really we want? Is it really? I don't know. I'm not convinced. Aaron Seach, Turbo Dork paints and Minotaur ghost tints. A match made in heaven. Yes, I agree. I've not. Have I? Well, I've kind of demonstrated a bit, but yeah, Turbo Dork paints. I love them. They're great. And Minotaur ghost tints, awesome. If you airbrush or don't airbrush, I think everybody should have, some of the primary ghost tints: the yellow, the cyan, and the magenta. You definitely need. If you're going to get any ghost tints, though, those 3 colors: the yellow, the pure yellow, the cyan, which is the ghost tints. I think it's called plasma fluid, and the magenta. And yeah, because with the yellow and magenta, you can make red. With the yellow and cyan, you can make green. And with the cyan and magenta, you can make purple. So, yeah. You just follow the cyan, magenta, yellow color wheel when playing with ghost tints on a surface, and you're fine. If you're familiar with the cyan, magenta, yellow color wheel. Boom, 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 boom. Aaron Seach. I still don't want to see that. Too kinky for me. Get the Gim to model for you. I could get them, and the GIM would most likely would be like 99.99% into doing it. There's a very small, minuscule, infinitesimal chance that he would not. But otherwise, if I said, GIM, buddy, I need a nude model. I'm going to do some body painting. We're going to film it for the monkeys. He'd probably be down. Without before I could even finish that sentence, even before the sound waves from my mouth finish that sentence, he'd be saying yes. I'm sure. He would probably say yes as soon as I said, I need you nude. He'd probably say yes. Jim White. Kris, did you see the full moon on Wednesday? It was awesome. No, I did not. Wednesday. What were we doing Wednesday? No, I didn't see it full moon Wednesday. And you know what? The boys were doing the live stream Friday. No, Wednesday. Wednesday, yeah. So, no, I didn't. Enforcer 357. Tiny baby teddy bears. Oh, no, don't start that again. Johnny Chop Shop, episode 2. How to shave your monkey. For the longest time, monkey was an actual derogatory term to be used. Ask your grandpa. I used to hang around some old dudes, and they used to use monkey all the time in reference to female body parts. I'm sure if you ask your grandpa, maybe even your dad, maybe even your mom, definitely that one aunt who has a large collection of cats, maybe she knows too. The one line I'm always a big fan of is from that stupid Vince Vaughn movie, Four Christmases, and when his fiance is looking back on her past, and she has the friend from way back in the day who was lesbian, and he's like, haircuts don't lie. Like, it's like that. It's that kind of thing, It's haircuts don't lie. That's just one of my favorites. King 555 at Kris, you now have an email from me. Cool, man. All the emails, man. I might as well just start the show. Yeah, King 55, my crapshoot, your crapshoot. Please don't be a picture of a crapshoot. Johnny's Chop Shop. I think it's time to put the keyboard away for a while. Yeah, it might be, Johnny. You might be. Just put it away. Just stop typing. Just sit back, enjoy the show, enjoy the ride. Just let it happen. Sit back and let it happen, man. It's gonna happen. Just let it happen. And in fact, because now the emails are all of a sudden pouring in, I think I better get to some emails because it's already, holy carbolis, 45 minutes into the show. So, Derek Luterus, got to go back to work. I'll send emails when I get some of my terrain painted. Thanks for the advice. No problem, Derek. Awesome. Yeah, send emails. All of you, everybody, send emails. Just keep the emails coming, I remember earlier, 2 years ago now, I suppose, because last year I was pretty good at keeping up with emails, and this year's been really great. But yeah, I'd be like weeks behind on the emails, mainly because I dawdle on and forget to do an email. So, but anyway, Voice of the Emperor. You may already be aware, monkey is British slang for 500 pounds sterling. Really? I did not know that. I didn't hear that. I wasn't dealing in large amounts of British pounds when I was over in England there just a few weeks back. Yeah, I wasn't doing any big deals where anybody was like, "Here's a monkey for you," and I was like, "What?" Anyway, no, I didn't know that though. Monkey's 500 pounds. Interesting. King 555 at Kris. I was fighting with a cat to take pictures, so it may be blurry. That's all right. Shogun What the hell? There can only be one monkey. Yes. I know. I got to do more on the Twitch side of things because it looks like we don't have too much going on the Twitch side, and I know there was a lot of folk, earlier on who was like, yeah, Kris, go to Twitch because because we like Twitch better than YouTube. And so I did, and nobody seems to tune in. So I don't know. Oh, George is now saying hi on Twitch. There we go. Shogun Or no, Nathaniel. Oops, I already read that comment. Nathaniel. Hi, Kris. Hi, monkeys. I am late again, I see. Yes, you are just a little bit late. Shogun. Twitch has real-time audio. Yeah, it's damn near real-time with Twitch. Twitch is only maybe about 3 or 4 seconds behind my transmission, whereas YouTube seems like it's damn near a minute behind. Could be even more minutes, I think. But yeah, YouTube is way behind. But mind you, YouTube is dealing with so much traffic, right? Whereas Twitch, it's not quite YouTube numbers, right? So, you know, there is that to consider. Enforcer Kris, you were doing mostly with sawbucks out across the pond. Sawbucks? I was doing what? Huh? Voice of the Emperor. Wait, but I thought you went to Warhammer World. I did, but I didn't deal with any 500-pound monkeys. 500-pound monkeys. Yeah, you know, I went to Warhammer World. Oh man, I could easily spend more than 500 pounds there. Oh man. Oh, Warhammer World was fantastic though. Like you people in England, man, I like, especially if you're a big wargamer in England. I don't know how you aren't at Warhammer World all the time, because I would be there all the time. Yeah, because like I live near Niagara Falls, I go pretty often, and I've been living in this area for since 12, so 7 years. I've been living here 7 years. Wow, I said 7 years already. So, and I still go to the falls all the time, you know, because it's just one of those things, you know, it's just a beautiful sight, and, you know, it's so nice, and, yeah. And, yeah, Warhammer World, yeah, I'd be there all the time. If I lived in England, I'd be there all the time. J Plasma, hello, Munleys. Munleys? Hello, Kris. Hello, Munleys. Jim White, Way of the Brush, episode 244. Here is a monkey for you. Here's a monkey for you. Dr. Xantos, Kris, did you see the John Candy montage Ryan Reynolds did to honor him? No, I did not. Send me a link. I didn't see that. When was it? Like a long time ago or something? Or no, I didn't see it. Interesting. Okay. J Plasma, anyone working on fun projects? Is anyone working on fun projects? As I stated at the beginning of the show, I'm working on a fun project. But, you know. And you know what, with this guy, and I might have mentioned it because, you know, but last episode I was, you know, I was kind of hinting at that. I was going to mention that, you know, I am working on him, but I didn't. Somehow I restrained myself from, you know, talking about it. But anyway, yeah, he's enough to get me into chaos. Same with the Havoc with the chain gun. Freaking cool looking model. Like, just awesome. Like, what's not to love about a Marine holding a chain gun? Like, and a lot of those Chaos Marines, yeah, the new stuff. I kind of like those walker things, the Venom things, whatever the hell they're called. Venom? Vile? I can't remember. Anyway, yeah, it's almost enough to get Kris back into Chaos, because Chaos was one of those forces way back in the day. I mean, that was in all the years that I've collected models. Eldar, my current Eldar force is about the largest amount of stuff that I've ever had, with a Chaos being a second. And my Chaos force was just mostly infantry. We only had a few vehicles, but it was mostly infantry. And I had like a lot of my Rogue Trader era Space Marines all converted to Luna Wolves, and I had a model that I had for Horus, which was an old Chaos Terminator with lightning claws, and, you know, I put a head on him, and, you know, and it wasn't the greatest conversion, but, you know, whatever. Yeah, so Chaos, and of course, you know, as I mentioned before, Nurgle. Nurgle is my god. I'm a Nurgle worshipper. I am. If I was a Chaos worshipper, I'm a Nurgle worshipper. But I'm also a big fan of Black Legion. And my Chaos army used to be Black Legion, so like because Black Legion's a good excuse to collect many things within Chaos, right? It's a good excuse to have Berserkers and Plague Marines and Thousand Suns and, you know what I mean, Noise Marines, all within the same army, with demons from all the same armies, you know what I mean? And Abaddon is the guy. And I was showing pictures, I think, in a previous episode, and maybe I'll have to make a post of this. Where is he now? Maybe I'll have to rescan this. Scan? Do people scan anymore? Am I dating myself by saying scanning? You know what? This picture is actually not that great, but I might have to show it off. But yeah, so that is the old paint job I did of Abaddon. That's an old paint job. You know what? Here, in case I forget and not post it. Here, let's go. Boom, and then we go. Oh, it's too much. There we go. So that's my old Abaddon. And I actually was thinking of doing my Abaddon with the hair like that again. With the green, with the white streak. I was thinking of doing it that way. I'm not doing the sword the same way, though. And I'm pretty sure my claw on him is red. I did it red. But yeah. So, anyway. That's, we might have to do a side-by-side. That guy was painted. When was he painted? When did Abaddon come out? I'm going to say somewhere around maybe 96. 95, 96, probably around when I painted him. Maybe before that. But yeah. But he pretty much was like my centerpiece guy for my army. I think my brother-in-law still has him because I gave all my chaos to my brother-in-law because he was a big chaos player. And he loved Khorne berserkers and such. And so I said, here, you can have it all. Go ahead. Bang. Have it. Have at her. And so, yeah. And it was about, I think, 8,000 points back in the day. So I gave him a pretty substantial army. Where are we? In the comments. I don't know. I'm completely lost. Couldn't tell you. Sophie Weil, I could walk into Warhammer World with £1 million and be broke in 3 minutes. Yeah, I understand that completely. I would too. I don't know about 1 million, but I definitely could blow 10,000. 10,000. Easy. That. 10,000. No problem. Could drop that in a second. With 1 million, though, you could acquire some of the stuff that's not for sale, I'm sure. Like, they have the big murals and stuff like that, the wall hanging stuff. Oh, man. Like, in Bugman's Bar, they have that big old Warhammer World map. It's, like, huge. It's like 8 foot by 10 foot hanging, wall hanging. That's that kind of stuff that I'd be like, okay, 50,000 for that wall hanging. Let's go. Put it in my car right now. Oh, then you have to rent a moving truck to come get all your crap because, you know, be loading it up all day and you're just buying the place out. Some kid's going up with his, you know, with his goblins in his hands. It's the last one. You go, nope, I'm taking that. I'm buying it. You know, and he's like, oh, and you go, I'll give you 10,000 for your college fund now. Piss off, kid. I'm buying that goblin for 10,000. You know, just completely reckless with the money. Dr. Santos posted it in Discord on Movies and TV channel. Okay, cool. Awesome. Enforcer 357 Chaos models have been really on point lately. Yes, they have. They've been really cool. Because before, way back in the day, right, they were more mutated and just kind of free-flowing, organic and crazy and demonic kind of looking. Whereas now they feel a bit more evil knights kind of thing, right? Like, you imagine the Chaos Warriors not being all mutated with, you know, 10 eyes and fly heads and, you know what I mean? Like, that kind of stuff. You kind of imagine they're just really scarred, grizzled, and old, and evil, and, you know what I mean? Maybe glowing eyes, you know, something like that, right? You don't really picture them really kind of far off from mutation, you know? Aaron Seach, masking and painting my knight for Adepticon, almost fully magnetized as well. Very cool. Looking forward to seeing it, man. I say you posted a picture there of, like, the red and blue. I like. Ghost of Starman Deluxe, join the dark side, Kris. We have skulls. I'm already part of the dark side, dude. What are you talking about? And just because it's any excuse to whip it out. Oh, can I reach it? Oh, there we go. Whoop. Almost knocked over my lamp. Abaddon and everybody would have went flying. Oh, gee. Oh, man. I better put this away before I hurt myself. We're going to put it, I'll put it right here for now. I don't feel like moving my chair. But anyway. Yeah, what a graceful Sith Lord, eh? Trying to knock stuff over. Anyway, George Hintz, what was the brand of that cold rolled steel paint again? The brand is, and I've played with a few colors, and they're pretty good, is Mission Models. This is the paint. I gotta make sure I'm in frame here. Is Mission Models. That's the paint. You get a pretty good size. These bottles are, what size is this bottle? It is, it's from Salt Lake City, Utah. Interesting. Mission. Okay. Might be Mormon. Coming out of Utah, there's probably a good possibility of that. Where the heck is the, how much is in here? I'm not getting a fluid ounce. I don't know. It's a good sized bottle. It's, okay, like here, okay, to give you an idea, here is a Vallejo bottle, right? So, give you an idea how big this bottle is, right? So, that's a Vallejo bottle. Here it is next to a Citadel bottle. So you can get kind of an idea how much paint you're getting, right? So there we go. But yeah, Mission Models out of Salt Lake City, Utah. But it worked pretty damn good. So, you know, why not? Give it a try. I liked it. It flows really well through the airbrush and everything like that. That metal laid on so nice and smooth on top of a gloss black. It just was excellent. I really like it. For dark metal, like black metal. Dark Commission, everything in Warhammer World Shop is full internet price, so better to buy local at a 10-20% discount. Sure, but I mean, if you're walking into Warhammer World with $1 million, are you that worried about a 10-20% discount? Not likely in this scenario. So, but yeah, at Warhammer World they should have a discount, or you know, more fun things to entice people to buy more crap, right? Anyway, Nathaniel, Kris, seen the new Havocs, sharper details in comparison to the metal minis. Oh, definitely. Definitely. J Plasma, yes, Nurgle. Johnny Chop Shop, you ever gone to the A shown and smell Nurgle? No. DM Duncan, then I was 6, lol. Enforcer 357, walk in and ask to buy the Rhino outside. Exactly. That's exactly it, right? You show up with £1 million. I want the tank outside. Give me the tank and one of the big Space Marine statues. That's what you walk out of there with. Yeah, you don't go buy a bunch of Forge World stuff. You walk out with the damn statues. Because I'm sure somebody at Games Workshop would be willing to sell it. I'm sure somebody there is willing to make a buck. Johnny's Chop Shop. Why do some gamers have a dislike for soap and water? Yeah, I don't know. War gamers, I found, you know, you get a bunch of them and, you know, you can get that usual gamer funk going on sometimes. And some of the circles that I've traveled in, it's not bad. You do notice it, especially when you do like the tournament scene and everybody's just kind of milling about for hours on end, and, you know, you can get that funkiness going. But not so much, it would seem, by comparison, in my experience, Magic players, Magic the Gathering. Holy shit. I went to Comic-Con a few years back in Toronto, and it's held in this big exhibition center. And if you've gone, then you kind of know where I'm talking about. And we were coming from the main level, heading down up out to the main street there. I can't remember what the heck that street is. But we were coming down the escalators, and then all of a sudden, bang, we were hit. And I had my family with me, and we were like, bang, we're hit. And I was like, good grief, where the hell's that smell come from? And my wife goes, I recognize that smell. And sure as hell, we see there's a huge, one of the exhibition centers, huge Magic the Gathering tournament or whatever going on. A bunch of players. And we're like, oh, there it is. That explains everything. And, yeah. So, yeah, why do some gamers, you know, I don't know. I don't know why that is. I know some more of the, what's the word I'm looking for here? Any of the war gamers that have a spouse, anything like that, usually we have pretty good habits. Some of the younger ones who, you know, aren't quite climatized, is that the word I'm looking for? But either way, yeah, you find that they don't have that same level of kind of thought into, how do I smell today? Oh, maybe I better take a shower, you know? How does my clothes smell? Maybe I better do laundry, you know? Some of those considerations aren't there. But yeah, every time, like I've been to a few places where Magic the Gathering was happening, and immediately, bang, assaulted. My senses were assaulted, and I was like, holy frick. I was like, what the hell is going on here? Who frickin' died? Who crawled up whose ass and died? Like, holy cramolies. So, yeah. Dr. Santos, it'll melt them. It will. Nathaniel, like Kris, Abaddon was released in 92 or 93, I think. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah. Actually, I couldn't tell you. I mean, it probably would be on his tab that goes into his base. And, yeah. But, can't remember where I was going with any of that. But it was wow. I had that Abaddon for a long time, and that took me a little while to get them painted, and at the time I was quite pleased with my paint job. Even though looking back at it, like it's kind of all over the place in color wise. But colored paint jobs back then were kind of all over the place anyway. It was different style then. I'm still a fan of the old school style, but anyway. Dark Commission. Dead body painting with Bob Nurgle. Part 1, glazing the eyes. Oof. Oof. That sounds kind of serious. I don't know if anybody wants to tune in for that. J Plasma, oh my lord. Fear School. S2 versus HM. I don't know what that means. S2 versus no, I'm not sure what that means. Enforcer, Kris, be careful where you point that thing. You'll kill us all. Proc Awesome, episode 244. Any excuse to whip it out. Actually, that was the name of the show, what, like 5 weeks ago? If you go back through the show names, you'll see it. Yeah, it was any excuse to whip it out. So. Nathaniel, any excuse to whip it out. But better put it away before I hurt myself. Jim White, did you mean Latter-day Saint, Kris? Yeah. Yeah. Are those two different things? Aren't they the same thing? I don't know. I mean, like, I work for two, so I probably should know, right? Nathaniel, look, 25 mil-ish. Yeah, they're probably about that. 25 mil? Yeah, something like that. Maybe 30, no, more than that. Because, I mean, the Turbo Dork paints are 20 mil. And there's more in them than that. So it's probably like 30 mil at least, because my golden paints are 30 mil. And it's close. Maybe 25 mil, maybe? Sure, let's split the difference. 25 mil. I don't know. It's not printed on the label, so I don't know. Aaron Seach, you are at Warhammer World with $1 million. Who gives about the discount? Yeah, exactly, right? Plasma. Magic the Gathering players. Holy shit. Best quote ever. Well, I know. I don't know what it is, man. Like, and it's for some of you guys out there who do play Magic and such, like, I'm sure you're aware of it. Why that seems to be the case. I mean, don't get me wrong. Wargamers, the same phenomenon does occur. But in some circles, it's not so much. And a lot of the circles I've traveled, it really hasn't been that much of an issue. It's been an issue, but not that often. But every time, in my experience, that I've encountered large gathering of Magic players, it hits you in the nostrils. Like if I did this with my fingers, and I made my fingers nice and rigid, right? And I was like holding my hand back, and I was trying to force this hand forward, right? If I was holding it back really, really hard and then let go and let my hand fly into my face and hit me square in the nose, that's what that smells like. So, David Vaughn, which is better to get to start getting into 40k? Dark Imperium or the new Shadow Spear? About to take the plunge for the first time and will be playing with my sons. Not sure which would be a better to start. Interesting. Oh man, yeah, that's kind of a tough call. Probably Dark Imperium, because Dark Imperium, it's easier to assemble the models. Now, Dave Vaughn, if you're an experienced modeler, and you know the Shadow Spear box, it seems to be. Now I can't say for sure, but it seems to be pretty simple models, or conventional way of putting the models together, versus Dark Imperium, where they're like single, like, you know what I mean, like, you know, the monopose, right? So like the guy's head, chest, and arm are one piece, and his back and his heel is one piece, and the other, you know what I mean, like, and you just kind of slam them all together, and you know, you got your model. Whereas I think with the Shadow Spear, I think it's like, you know, torso, legs, heads, arm, you know what I mean? It's kind of in the conventional sense of putting the models together. I think, I can't be sure. So if you're an experienced modeler, then either one. I mean, Dark Imperium, why not? Because it comes with all those great Primaris models and the Nurgle models. And yeah, the new box comes with the new Chaos models, which look fantastic. And the new Primaris Reaver Duders. They're kind of specialized. So I think I would probably go with Dark Imperium. I probably would go, if you can find Dark Imperium. I don't know if you can really find Dark Imperium these days. Does Games Workshop still sell Dark Imperium? I have no idea. But either way. Sophie Wow, good idea there, Enforcer. Oh, yeah. Asked to buy Duncan. That's Enforcer's idea. Go and buy Duncan for the day. For £1 million, you could probably buy Duncan for a while. At least. A couple of years you could buy him. If you just wanted just Duncan. Just $1 million, just show up $1 million with, standing with a big wad of cash. I want Duncan. For what? Don't worry. I think he'd probably be like, no. Please, God, no. The voice of the Emperor. Might be email time. It might be email time. Jim White. Great now. I'm thinking of the song Ever Powered by Funk by The Clash. Thanks, Kris. Oh, man. What's his name on Twitch? X-Yoga? XY-Goa? Anyway. Hey there. Love your streams. Thank you, XY. DM Duncan. When I go to the local Warhammer store, I bring some deodorant and start spraying before the tournament. Because people don't know what a shower is over there. Yeah, see, and again, you know, it's some of the folk. I remember way back in the day at Mini Wargaming, when Mini Wargaming had a physical store, and so we were open to the public, and lots of people were coming in and stuff like that. And there was one fella, and holy moly, he was rank. And you know, it was kind of, we were polite, said, hey, you know, family joint, the paint's peeling from the walls, buddy. Like, you know, no, we were polite to the guy. We weren't rude to him, and you know, but we kind of like said, hey, you know, and we had a posting on the wall too, like, you know, that kind of thing wasn't going to be tolerated, and you know, not all militant Nazi like, but you know, just a, you know, friendly reminder, like, you know, come on, there's other people to consider, you know. Nobody wants to smell that. Anyway, Fire Drake 18 made it. Don't know what's going on, but I would like to hear about Gundam update. Gundam. There has been no Gundam update. I've been just been busy. But as soon as I come back from Adepticon, I mentioned this. I mentioned this yesterday in the show that I'm going to get serious on some projects here, because I got him, got a few other things, got the Gundam. I really want to get started on. I got the Creature Caster projects going, so yeah, I've got all sorts of stuff. Plus, there's a bunch of videos that I want to make as well, and so, you know, once Adepticon's done, and that's kind of, you know, off the plate, and then of course then we move. Oh man, we move, because we're moving in April, so yeah, it's gonna be busy then too. Oof. Oh, it's gonna be great though. I'm so looking forward to moving to the bunker, man. It's gonna be freaking great. And it's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun, man. It's going to be fun. So much fun. George hints they are 1 ounce paint. They are 1 ounce paint, are they? Oh, maybe on the website they say they're 1 ounce paint? Okay. Clayton Tate, how do I join the Discord group? What is this chat system? I only know what WhatsApp is. I'm old. Discord, yeah, you just type it into well, if you're on iPhone or Google, just type in Discord, and you can download the app on your phone, download it on your computer, or both. I have it on my computers and on my phone, so you know. On my phone, though, I don't have notifications set up because otherwise it'd be dinging all the time. Because especially when people go on tangents on Discord and stuff. So, yeah, I just don't want to be bothered with all that. So I check it periodically, though, but I always have it up on my computer, you know. But Discord has been fantastic. It's been fantastic. It's been fun. It's been great. It's been a great way to stay in touch with you guys. I was on last night. I was in voice chat with Enforcer and Grim and Aldari. And then we were just talking, you know, while I was painting away, and, you know, I was painting away, and we were just talking. Where am I? Sir Peanut Butter, first body paint tutorial, how to paint Nurglebum. Again, I don't know if we want to see those tutorials. Featuring Steve, how to paint Nurglebum on Steve. No. Jim White, 1, Latter-day Saint is the proper name, the other is not. Okay. I've heard it both interchangeably, so yeah. Anyway. NorCal Todd. Good morning, Chris. I was wondering what the difference is between Vallejo Model Wash and Game Washes. The Model Wash and Game Wash, those are two products that I've not used, so I could not tell you specifically what is the difference. But I imagine Model Wash and Game Wash is probably just their way of categorizing the two washes, probably because they are of different colors, and probably intended different, you know, color usages. Because I mean, Vallejo does produce a model acrylic line and a game acrylic line. So it's probably the washes that they've designed for both of those games, paint lines. So I'd imagine that's the only difference. As far as what their washes, like as far as how it flows on a model, does it flow like GW's wash or, you know, what have you? Again, I could not say because I've not used the products. Yeah, and I'm not in a really big hurry to pick them up. But I mean, I'm sure they're fine. I'm sure they work within the Vallejo system. I mean, it's water-based acrylics. And, I mean, like I've shown on this channel here how to make your own washes from any color. And, I mean, it doesn't matter. It would appear to be a label to fit their paint lines, right? So it's model line and game line. And I'm sure that's all it is. They probably have two different browns, but one might be darker or what have you for either one. I can't say because I've never used it. Just off the top of my head, that would be the only differences I could perceive. How they compare to, say, Citadel's washes, I have no idea. I've never used the Vallejo washes, so I could not tell you whether or not they're good, bad, same, different, anything. I don't know. So, I'm afraid I'm not much help in that regards. But anybody else who has used Vallejo Model Wash and Vallejo Game Wash and both and compared them to Citadel's, feel free to write it in the comments here if you have used them. Feel free, because NorCal Todd can check it out and, get some feedback, because, it's obviously a question burning on his brain, right? Aaron Seach, I thought about getting into Magic. However, I like taking showers and wearing clean laundry. Yeah, I mean, like your own personal habits. There's nothing, right? And I mean, it's not like the game is bad or anything like that, it's not like, it attracts, but something about the gamer culture, because we've seen it in wargaming, we see it in Magic, we probably see it in lots of, nerdy type of pursuits. So I'm sure it's probably a fairly common stigma amongst, groups. Oh, that last sip was cold. Thankfully, it had a little bit of an agent in it to warm it up a bit. But anyway. Ghost Starman Deluxe. There's a bundle with Dark Imperium and Shadow Spear. I don't think it'll be leaving anytime soon. Well, if there's a bundle, sure. Right? I wasn't sure if Dark Imperium was still being sold or if, because that was the beginning of this 8th edition, and that's already, 2 years? So I wasn't sure if they were still selling it or what have you, but yeah, apparently they are. So yeah, I would probably go with Dark Imperium to answer the previous question about which set to get. Shadow Spear looked great and all. Don't get me wrong. I mean, if you want to go Shadow Spear, I think Shadow Spear would be an excellent choice as well. But if you want Primaris Marines, more of them. I mean, Dark Imperium has a lot of Primaris Marines. It's enough to do with 3 squads of Marines. So, yeah. Dr. Xantos, for £1 million, I reckon they'd hand his leash over quite fast. If you pay for Duncan for $1 million, yeah. Nathaniel, Kris. The question isn't if you can buy Duncan for $1 million. The question is, will he be your main bitch? For $1 million, yeah, you bet your ass. In the hypothetical, of course, in the hypothetical. Because I'm pretty sure a long time ago we did away with slavery, I thought. I mean, I realize slaves still exist today, but yeah. Anyway. Dark Mission, if you think you hear a helicopter approaching, it's probably the Magic the Gathering guys with their flies. Nathaniel at NorCal Todd. Game wash and model wash differ in the glossiness level and hue, but it makes no difference if you use either. Okay, there we go. So Nathaniel sounds like he's had some experience with the game wash and model wash from Vallejo, so hopefully that kind of sheds some light on it. I don't think, I mean, if you pick them up, I don't think they're going to steer you wrong with it. I mean, Vallejo makes a great paint line and make great products, so I don't think you'd be making a bad choice of picking them up. But the thing is, though, I mean, do more research, because, I mean, like, what do you need the wash for? What do you need this product for, right? You must need it for something. It's going to achieve some sort of result for you. So research up whether or not it's going to do what you want it to do. Would be a better course of action. Raziel, whoa, I tuned back in and I got no idea what's going on. Neither do I. Holy crap, it's already 20. It's 20 after? I was going to do an email. That was 40 minutes ago? Are you kidding me? Where'd the time go? Are we in some sort of time differential where time is moving quickly and slowing down and speeding up, slowing down? Don't know. I've been watching a lot of sci-fi stuff lately, and so, time is... Did you watch on Netflix? Have any of you guys watched Love, Death, Robots on Netflix? Holy moly, if you've not watched it, and you love animation and you love short stories, holy crap, you got to watch that series, man. Blew my mind. Just awesome series. The animation is different in each of the things. Each of the videos range from anywhere from, 5 to 15 minutes. There's 18 episodes in the first season. Apparently it's season 1, so there might be more seasons coming down the road, which I do hope they do, because every single one of those episodes was fantastic. Different animation styles all the way through. Almost all of them were animated. There was one that had live action element to it. But otherwise, it was a fantastic series. If you have Netflix and, you're looking for something interesting, or maybe just some stuff to just kind of quickly just sit down and absorb, Love, Death, Robots. Yeah, it was fantastic. I loved it. It was great. Great. And I like that because it's this anthology series, and it just has all sorts of crazy things going on. And some of them are funny, some of them are scary, some of them kind of get you thinking, some of them, just really great. Awesome stuff. Just good sci-fi, man. Just good sci-fi. NorCal Todd, thank you, Kris and Nathaniel. Yes, thank you, Nathaniel, for having for sharing imparting your knowledge. J Plasma did the math and discovered I have over 3,000 points of Necrons and don't even have one of the model kit from GW. What? Did the math and discovered that you have over 3,000 points of Necrons and I don't even have one of each model kit from GW. I don't know what that means. David Vaughn, noob question. What purpose does the codex serve? Not sure how different it is from instructions. Looking online, but can't get clear answer. A codex is going to have all the army's rules. So, for example, if you get the Dark Imperium box set, it will have Nurgle Marines and it will have Primaris Marines. It's going to have the rules for getting started playing. The rules will be there, so you can play a game with those models within that box. All you need to do is buy that box and you can play the game. You're in the game. So, having said that, if you want to expand upon and, get a bigger force and acquire more box sets or other box sets or whatever you want to do, you're better off buying the codex. The codex will have the backstory as well as the rules and painting guides and things of that nature in that book. You can buy the book as an ebook, as digital thingy bobber, and of course a physical copy. I always like physical copies just because I'm a physical kind of guy. And of course you can always buy the Nurgle book and the Marine book. You can buy them both. You can buy them separate. It all depends on which way you want to go. You don't have to buy the book. If you only ever just play Dark Imperium, you don't need the codexes, but it will have more background story and stuff like that. And of course, yeah. So, yeah, and that's it. But I mean, once you're into this hobby, you're in. For most, you're stuck. It becomes a lifelong obsession. And if you have that collector spirit, like you find something, ooh, I got to start collecting these, and if you have that in you, if you have that gene, whatever that gene is, if you have it, beware. Because, yeah, you're going to get into 40k. Also, Age of Sigmar is a lot of fun. And I have some Ideneth Deepkin coming. So, I already have the turtle, but I got the Get Started box of Ideneth. So, that's coming. And I'll be starting that. That's another project that I've just added to my list of projects. Yeah, Kris has got to get the painting, man. I gotta get some painting done. I'm not even going to be entering anything for Crystal Brush this year or for Creature Casters competition they're doing this year. This is the first ever. And I'm missing out. But I'd rather not hand something in than half-ass something, right? So, and I just haven't had time. It's been so busy. Doing the Painting Academy for Mini Wargaming, it's just drained me of a lot of energy. I'm almost done it. I'm like, the filming stuff is already done. I'm building the DVD right now, or Blu-ray, and then of course then we begin the promotion cycle of it, and then of course what follows being online component as well as physical components. And so yeah, there's a lot of work ahead. NorCal, I'm using the wash on a 135 tank. I'll do more research. Thanks. Yes, definitely. Yeah, make sure that it's the right thing you need. And also, too, like I said, like I made a video on how you can make your own stuff from any color you want. Make your own shade wash. And, it's on my channel. It's just a tip. J Plasma. Codex has army-specific information such as weapons, points, gear, etc. Yes. David Vaughn, okay, just trying to wrap my mind around that. I thought this information would be found in the instructions. It kind of is, but isn't. I mean, they're assuming that you're most likely going to go to the website and look at all the other stuff, and and usually within the big boxes, there's usually like a pamphlet that's kind of like, here's Games Workshop, and here's what we're about, and here you can go to here, check out more information on this, and are you looking for more of this, and you know what I mean? And usually one of those kind of pamphlets was in there. I don't know if it is, but it's been so long since I looked inside the Dark Imperium box. But anyway, David Vaughn, okay, I see. Thanks for the explanation. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, so the Codex, I mean, if you're looking to expand upon your army and build your more Marines and, get in other tanks and, things of that nature, yeah, you need the book. Or you just want to get into the lore of them and, because then once you get the Codex, okay, physical or digital, whichever way you go, because they're both pretty much the same, you get all the backstory to stuff, and then you start to, it just enriches the universe further, because there's lots of stuff in the main rulebook as well. There's lots of information there as well that gets you into the universe of Warhammer 40,000. And Warhammer 40,000 has a very rich universe. And once you start getting into that stuff, then all of a sudden the novels start to have an appeal. And also you can go to Black Library and get the novels about, you know, Space Marines and Chaos and Eldar and Tyranid, you know what I mean? And, or Age of Sigmar, you know what I mean? Like, you just start getting into all the stories and you start getting into the lore of everything. And it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. And again, it's just, you know, when you don't have time to paint, but you want to get some hobby time in, and you're like, oh man, I love 40K, and you know, like, I want to hear more about Space Marines, you know, and so then you, you know, read a book and, you know, have a look and, you know, get into it. So anyway, Fire Drake, this hobby is for life, yo. for life, yo, dog. J Plasma, email time? Yeah, it's email time. Holy crap, it's already 1:30. Yeah, we better get to some emails now. Dark Commission, if I had a fit of courage this week and started my Sun Tzu model, which I'm going to put into a small diorama, been putting it off for too long. Yeah, man, just got to get to it, right? I mean, I keep telling you guys, you know, quit putting it off, get to it. Yet here I am, all sorts of crap, got to get to. And I got to quit, you know, making freaking excuses and just get to my stuff as well. So, yeah. Rezio, hey Kris, have you thought about what process you will use to assemble and paint your Gundam? I want to paint them and hide the seams, but also keep the rubber joints clean and mobile. Have I thought about it? Well, he'll definitely be in sub-assemblies, of course. Cleaning the seam lines, I mean, seems like cleaning seam lines, you know. And the kit I have, he's the Mega RX-78. What is it? RX-78? Yeah. And he's a Mega, so he's pretty big. So he's got big joints. And from what I've seen, and I watched another YouTuber who was doing the similar kind of thing. And it was like from a few years ago. And he had pretty much left everything separate. And he was doing, like, you know, the joints and everything like that. Now, I don't know how much is rubber in this thing. I don't know if there's any rubber. I think everything is hard plastic. Because I think this kit is actually designed for neophytes. So this is good territory for me because, you know, I'm used to Bandai kits. I've done a lot of Star Wars kits, but, you know, Gundam, no. So I mean, like, right now, I mean, like, I could stop this show right now and dive into the Gundam kit. Like, that's how badly I want to get into it. But I know once I'm into it, I don't want to do anything else. Sometimes, usually I get like that. I'll just be like, you know, world, go away, and you know, leave me to my thing. And Abaddon's kind of like that at the moment too, because I get into like painting and, you know, doing things, and I'm trying to think of different ways to do certain effect that I want to achieve on them, and experiment a little bit, and, you know, play with technique. And yeah, so anyway. Fire Drake 18, if I had I would create my hobby room big enough to game and to do my hobby projects. I think that is everyone's dream. That's everyone's dream, yeah. I wish I had an office big enough to hold a gaming table with big painting sections that I can have all sorts of crap and have all my stuff on display and just have artwork and everything like that and be all kick-ass with a mini fridge, and I could sit here and have a cigar and have a drink, and, you know, that would be the ideal situation. But alas, So anyway, okay, let's do an email. So it is email time. If you're wearing headphones, turn them up or down, but here it comes. Let's start with this one. Here it comes. Email time. Email time. Sorry, still goofing around. Whoops, wrong one. This is from Ville. Greetings, Monkey Lord. I bring you gifts, pictures of my latest creation. Black Toads, aka Black Custodes, as my 30k ally detachment. The task, thinking of the scheme, was hard and long, giggity. But in the end, I was able to come up with a good scheme that pleased me, giggity. Without further ado, the pictures. Dr. Xantos. P.S. I've decided to make them a HQ unit for 40k Trajan Valorous with a little tweaks here and there. Also, Would you happen to have any tips on how to make the power effect they have on their spears, but in black and white? Okay, wait. Would you have any tips on how to make the power effect they have on their spears, but in black and white? Okay, so let's have a look. Sorry, wrong button. Everybody's like, oh, my freaking ears. Alrighty, so doing the effect of lightning on the blades in black and white. Well, it should be, in theory, as simple as just switching the colors from, you know, doing a blue to a white, just going black to a white on that silver. Now, having said that, I mean, because you're going to go with such a contrasty kind of look, I probably would bring the blades up. Bring the blades up as bright as silver as I could, because you're going to work with primarily a dark color. Now, because I'm going to imagine you're working mostly by hand brush, that you're going to have to do these by hand, which means that I would highly recommend you work from Abaddon Black, break it down with Lamy and medium, thin it down to, you know, very thin glaze type consistency. I've shown in quite a few videos on how to create lightning effects by brush. In a nutshell, basically just work with your brush in a perpendicular fashion to the blade. In a thinned out glaze consistency, you can basically create a slight gradient. So if you work with a fairly thinned out black, and then I really wouldn't go with grays so much. I would probably go with a light gray, or a thinned out black, excuse me. Put one layer down, kind of creating a, you know, kind of a branching effect, you know, kind of how lightning looks. Now you can create it in kind of jagged, kind of straight dashes, you know what I mean? So you go with a dash going one way and then kind of dash and then a little dash, you know what I mean? Then kind of have it fork off, you know, and create lightning that way. It's a fairly straightforward kind of way. Or you can just kind of go free flow organic and kind of just do like kind of a tree like shape from the source. Now the blades, I'd imagine the source coming from the wings, right? So you can kind of have them coming out from the wings heading out towards the tip. You definitely don't want to populate too many lightning bolts into the blade, because then it's just going to become quite a mess. And then just build to a darker black, very, very thin black line, and then come in with a white and then fill that black line in. And so basically you're creating the opposite effect if you were to do it with color, if that makes any sense at all. But I like the color scheme. The red looks fantastic. The gemstones look awesome. Color looks like it's where it should be. I think I'd reestablish some of the gold points, like on the knee and everything like that. Just reestablish that brighter gold. Or just that same level gold. Just kind of neaten it up just a bit. But otherwise, yeah. I really like it. Nice and clean. Looks good. And, yeah. Thank you for sending that in. Hopefully that kind of helps as far as creating, you know, lightning on the model. Yeah. Not 100% sure, but yeah. Everybody, Raziel, Fire Drake, Jim White, everybody's liking the painting. Yeah, Dark Commission says nice paint, nice dude. Duded? Nice duded. Nice duded. Dudes. Nathaniel Kris, when my dad was still around, we built a miniature world that we could lower or lift per pulleys. It was installed as a false ceiling. I repurposed it for 40K as a table and storage space. Very, very cool. Send a pic of that. I'd love to see that, because I've always heard about that. And for people, you know, we're like, you know, having the drop ceiling and having the table kind of come down. It's on just little pulleys and, you know, comes down. And I've often thought that that's a fantastic idea. If you got a picture of it, yeah, that would be really kick-ass. Fire Drake 18, Willy Wonka, stupid autocorrect. What? Fire Drake 18, I know this is off topic, but watching Will Does Anyone, Grandpa Joe was just evil. He was inviolate, could profit from Charlie. He hid money the family needed. Just saying, could be me. Dr. Xanthus, thank you for the comments and the help. Yeah, so hopefully that kind of helps. So basically what I'm saying, again, with the black lightning, I would put a brighter silver down on the blades, right? So that you have a nice bright background to work from. Thin black down, create your Thunderbolt in a thin black, then go with a little bit thicker black, less medium, right? And create another thing. Now you could probably do it in 2 or 3 passes just to create that slight gradient on the black lightning, and then come in with the pure white and stay inside that black line and create your lightning bolts. And that would be probably one of the easiest ways to create black lightning. You could go about it further, and you could airbrush it, you could glaze it, blend it, what have you. There are many different ways to do it, but I'm just kind of tackling it from the perspective of the easiest kind of way. I'm not sure exactly what kind of brush techniques you're comfortable with, so I'm just kind of tackling it from the easiest kind of point, which is just creating simple layers and creating a thin gradient and glazing, and it's relatively straightforward, I think. If it's not, we can talk more about it. So yeah. Let's jump to another email. That's not it. This one is from Richard. Hey, so I mentioned last week that I'll be doing a testing black ink out for my Black Legion. Here are the first results. This was black ink over white primer with a few glazes of Dark Reaper. Thoughts? So let's have a look. I'm curious now. I am curious. This is black ink with Dark Reaper on top. On top of the black ink? Yeah, on top, because he says glazes of Dark Reaper. So I like it. I think I don't know if I would have gone as far. Like, I'm looking at like the chest space and like the arms and the like a lot of the and the curved portions of the backpack. I don't know if I would have gone as far as you've gone with the color, but I definitely like it. It's nice and neat. The black is definitely there. I mean, you can always come back in with black ink and push that back down a bit, because it's Black Legion, right? But I mean, like, I'm looking at this and I can see that dark turquoise tone. See it? Yeah. See, like here. Yeah, I like for the shoulder pads, I probably would not have pushed it as far as where you've gone. I probably would only had it just a little bit on the high points or on the outer edges of the trim. For the orbs on the backpack, where the nozzles are, again, I'd only follow the gold of the claw. For where you got it, say for example on the armor plate on his covering his bum, I'd probably stick with that, but predominantly more black. Now you can, if you want, I'm not saying you have to, but if you want, you could always come back in with black, just thin it down just a little bit with the black ink, and reestablish some darker tone and kind of push that back a bit. I definitely would thin it out though, and then I push it down either in towards the centers of armor plates or down towards the bottom of armor plates. Yeah, because your highlights are running upwards, right? Because I'm looking at the shins and I think the highlights are upwards or around the edges, the perimeters and such. But definitely looks cool. I like it. It looks nice and smooth. Like, I'm seeing it on the shoulder pad, how smooth that looks. And like the gold by comparison, I'm thinking like, if you were to come in with the gold ink, like Liquitex iridescent gold ink, I think you'd probably be like, whoo, man, this is kick ass. Because yeah, I mean, it looks good. Like, don't get me wrong, like, it's nice and neat, and yeah, I mean, painting with the ink, surprisingly, is really easy. And in fact, like, I'm noticing here, let me go back to this picture here. I'm noticing, like, on the metal, like on the air hoses and in the joins, like in his armpit and his elbow joins, you can take that black ink, add a drop of Flow Aid, and make it into a wash, and then just fill in those gaps. Or just thin it down and then just tint the overall surface and push them back down just a bit. They look good. It's just, I think they're just a little bit bright. But it could be just the way that I'm looking at the model, but I think it is just a bit bright. I think I'd want more of the black and gold to really be at play, and I'd push those metals down more so that they're not quite as bright. They're not competing with the gold against the black. But yeah, like a lot of that Dark Reaper is bouncing back at me, and I'm seeing lots of that Dark Reaper, and I think pushing more black back into it would be better, I think, if you want to go with proper Black Legion, right? So, but thank you, Richard, for sending that in. Awesome stuff. Looks fantastic, and I look forward to more updates from you as far as you know, where else we go with this. Raziel, hey, copy the look from the black lightsaber from Clone Wars. Yeah, oh, that's another excellent idea. Yeah, for the lightning on the halberds. Oh man, that'd be kind of tricky to do because it's an excellent idea. You could do it, but a lot of that effect relies on having that slight glow coming out from the edges of the blade. But that's an excellent idea, Raziel. So Dr. Xantos, for your... Yeah, it was Dr. Xantos. Yeah, it was Dr. Xantos. For your custodes, if you're not familiar with the Black Blade from Star Wars Rebels and Clone Wars, because it was in Clone Wars and it was in Rebels, the sword. I can't remember what the hell the sword's called, but it's the Mandalorian Black Saber, whatever it's called. Anyway, look at pictures of that and how that looks. That actually might be something that would be less tedious than trying to create lightning effects, but actually going for the whole blade looks like it's glowing with black energy. That's another idea, man. That's an excellent idea, Razia. I like that. But again, it's kind of tricky. I'd have to ponder that a bit longer. But if you look at pictures of what that effect looks like, if you think that's something that you can pull off, Dr. Xantos, definitely give it a try. Might inspire you towards something else. Maybe doing something else entirely. You know? But yeah, really great idea, Raziel. Fire Drake. Like to highlight how the armor looks. Yeah, the armor looks great. Don't get me wrong. The armor looks great. The highlighting looked good. But if the desired end result was to be Black Legion, I think there was a little bit too much Dark Reaper at play, and I think you'd want to push a little bit more black into it to give it more of a Black Legion. I mean, there's nothing wrong with having that Dark Reaper showing as the highlights. It was too much highlight, right? You want to push that back a bit. Dark Commission looks fine to me. Yes. Yeah, like I said, like there's nothing wrong with it. It's just Black Legion is the armor's typically quite dark, right? Whereas the Dark Reaper, it was a lot of the Black Legion armor, the Dark Reaper color was a lot of it was coming back at me. I could see it in the picture, like it was quite a bit of the color, which is this dark turquoise color, right? Whereas you kind of, like I've mentioned before, and with dealing with a lot of colors, that you know, for example, like white, right? You want to have most of the area predominantly white. Black is the same way. You want to have predominantly mostly black with just minimal amounts of highlights if you want the dominant color to really kind of shine through, but you definitely want to show some highlighting, you know? So, yeah. The Voice of the Emperor. Thanks for the suggestions. I must look into gold inks. Yeah, definitely. I've been having a lot of fun with this Liquitex acrylic ink. Oh, it says right there in the label, acrylic ink. So, yeah. I probably should read labels more clearly. So yeah, essentially it's their acrylic line, but thinned down to ink consistencies. But I'm sure the pigment saturation is probably that of, you know, more like their airbrush lines and stuff like that, like their airbrush colors. It says right on the, what does the other one say? It says Liquitex Professional Ink. This is just carbon black. Okay, well this one just says it's ink, but made in France. No, it says acrylic ink. Yeah. I should probably pay attention more. Fire Drake 18. GW is killing my wallet with all these releases. Chaos models are awesome. I have to limit myself to the new models. Yeah, definitely. Enforcer. I believe it's called a Vibroblade. Is that what it's called? The Vibroblade? I don't remember calling that. Dr. Xantos. Raziel, you damn glorious genius. Nathaniel. Okay, have to go. Enjoy your day. Later, Dater. Fire Drake 18 posted a link to something. Oh, the black saber. Oh, a picture of the black saber. Yeah. The black saber. Is that what it's called? The black saber? Okay, black saber. So look that up, Dr. Santos. Black saber. Or unless you already knew what it was and we were just... But yeah, excellent idea, Raziel. Dr. Santos, I'd give that a try. Or at least have a look at it and see maybe, you know, if we can pull it off and, you know. But yeah. Proc awesome. Way of the Brush, episode 244. I probably should read labels. I probably should. I probably should read them more carefully. Oh, man. You know, it's my own stupid ass fault, so, you know, whatever. All right, let's do another email. Holy crap, we got 12 minutes left of the show. Let's do an email. Headphones, turn them up or down, but here it comes. Email time. Email time. This one is from Kevin Cabal. Hi, Kris. Here are some mediocre photos of what I've been up to. And yes, we must do the Monkey Dome. The Monkey Dome. I'm liking the idea. I'm liking it. I definitely got to write some of that down. The Monkey Dome. Yeah. Here is a beholder thing from Reaper Bones and a Primaris Marine I painted as a white scar. Because I enjoy suffering. Keep on monkeying. Kevin Cabal. So let's have a look at his... What the hell's it called? Beholder thing. Look at his beholder. His beholder? Anyway, this is from Reaper. Oh, he's got, looks like he's got a little glow underneath it. Interesting. I like the eyeball. Is the eyeball metallic with a green on top of it? Is that what that eyeball is? Very cool if that's the case. I imagine that probably looks like it's just glowing. Hence why he did it. Hence, I think for the, at least I think it's the eyes at the ends of the stalks coming off from the top of the head. With the green, it looks like he did the same effect for the big main eyeball. I think I would take a little bit of a dark red or even a dark purple almost and outline the eye to create a little bit more separation from the rest of the stalk, just to help separate that eyeball a bit. Definitely freaky looking. Interesting details. I definitely like the eyeballs. They are a lot of fun. Ooh, look at this. Primaris Marine. Got him on a nice big old display base. Lots of mud. We've got transfers on this guy. He's got some weathering. Looks really good. I like the base. Nice clean red work. On that leg, was that freehanded? Is that some good freehanding there, it looks like. The jagged lines. It's nice and clean looking. The white is crisp. Really good work, man. This is really good work. It's nice and clean. And, I mean, even though you have the weathering is not overdone. Even though, like, his feet look pretty muddy, but, like, you know, it's kind of just giving that, like, you know, fresh trudging through the mud kind of look. But, like, his armor, like, the weathering you've done on his armor is not overdone. You know, there's enough of it there that establishes corners. It establishes the effect without beating you over the head that his armor's all beat up and, you know, he's seen battle, right? And so that's really good. I'm glad that you had the self-restraint enough. Oh, it looks like you even weathered the red too. Yeah, it looks like you weathered the red, didn't you? Can I zoom in on this? Oh, I can zoom on this. Yeah. That's some nice work, buddy. That's some nice work. Yeah, I like your weathering you did on the shin guard. That looks really good. Me likey. Whoop, is that it? That was it. That was it for that email. So thank you, Kevin Ball. Send that in. Awesome stuff. Great painting. Keep up the good work. And yeah, just awesome stuff. The next one is from DM Duncan. This one is about his cornboard. Cornboard? Is that a thing? Cornboard? Cornboard? What the hell's a cornboard? Hi, Kris. As promised last week, here is my update on my corn-themed terrain. Also, there is a few bonus pictures of my first model, Korath the Bloodborne, which will be used for a diorama I finished this week. The base of this model is the theme for the rest of the board as well. So far, I'm on 75% of carving the left cliff. Greetings, DM Duncan. Keep it up. I love the show. Well, thank you. And so let's have a look. So this is going to be how he is going to do the base. I like that. That's interesting. I kind of like how the ground is like broken, but like it's almost like there's like a river of blood underneath. And like the ground is breaking away, and there's like it's revealing this, like it's a dry crust of earth above, and there's this river of blood running under the ground. That looks really interesting. Now I don't know if that is what's going on there, but that's the way it looks right off the hop from this base. And I love all the texture. The texture is great. The painting on the model itself looks really, really good. Nice and deep dark tones. I probably would bring the red up a bit more, but that's just me. Or bring the flesh up. Either way. Oops. Jeez Louise. This guy is sideways. Can we adjust this? Can we adjust this? Do you want me to adjust it? What if I zoom in? Will it automatically turn it? No, of course not. Awesome. Oh, you even got cracked earth going on the base too. So we're looking at this sideways. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, this looks really good. Yeah, I like the face and everything like that. Teeth, all the texture. The base looks really, really cool. Despite me having to turn my head at it. Good grief. Now it's upside down. What the hell's going on here, man? What is going on? Are you just messing with me at this point now? Oh, can I not rotate this? Oh, man. Why are these upside down? Why? Why? But I can tell it looks really, really good. Ooh, look at all that blood. Looks like some sort of rib cage there or something. The blood. The blood. And so this is the theme that you're going to go for the bait. What the hell is going on here? Oh, man, I give up. Oh, there we go. Here's a normal looking angle here. Oh, thank God. We've got some normal angles. So, yes, definitely like the base. Really cool. I like the effects. Nice texture. The model looks great. Yeah, it's very, very cool. Oh, look at that. He's carving out some cornage. Cornage? Carnage? Cornage? Oh, look at that. Very, very cool. Well, I hope you keep us up to date as you progress through this. If you are feeling so inclined, I think you should probably, I don't know if you're on Discord, but I think you probably should join us on Discord and post this in the terrain section in the Discord channel. But thank you, Duncan, DM Duncan. Thank you for sharing that. Awesome stuff. Really looking fantastic. And yeah, we have a channel on Discord. Where's Discord? Oh, somebody's posting stuff on Discord. Do we? Yeah, we have a channel for terrain, don't we? Yeah, we have terrain and basing. Yeah, so feel free to post in there. Feel free to join us on Discord. You know, be a lot of fun. Feel free to join us, man. Join us. And if you're already there, well then post your efforts there, and you know, I mean, still feel free to send me emails as well. You know, but yeah, if you want to keep, if you want to get kind of more immediate feedback, join us on Discord. Holy crap, we got 3 minutes left of the show. Let's do one final email, and this is from our good buddy Caw King 555555555. I know that it's bad. I don't care. I love rusty robots, and I can't deny. He's saying it says crapshoot fellblade, so it's crapshoot apparently. I don't know if he's referring to the model or if he's referring to the pictures. I think it was the pictures. I think his comment earlier was about his pictures, but either way, that is a rusty looking fellblade. Now, I'm going to assume this is still work in progress. Is it? I don't know. Very, very interesting. Now, are you laying down the silver and then laying down the rust effects and then laying down another color on top and then kind of doing it that way? Or is the model going to be like it is just completely covered in rust? Is that the goal? See, from here, the rust actually looks really good. It must have been the way the light was playing on a surface that it looked more kind of browny. Whereas this, I can see more oranges at play, and the way you have kind of the tones playing in odd places and such, it looks a lot more natural at this angle here. This is not terribly in focus, but that's okay. I get it. It looks like you went metal and then dry brushed this color on top. And I don't know if you need to do that, especially for like the fuel tanks, because would the fuel tanks be as rusty as, say, the rest of the tank? Because they're constantly refueling this thing, right? And so these are storage tanks, and so wouldn't they get changed out every so often? Would they be quite as rusty? And I think for little things like that, I think using like a wash, creating a brown-orange wash, and then applying it into the recesses and stuff like that, I think might be a little bit more efficient, because essentially with dry brushing the rust, as you see here, the rust is on the high points and there's silver in between, and you can see it in the tracks. You can see the tracks, there's silver on the main, or there's rust on the high points, but there's metal on the insides, when in fact, if it's truly rusty, the opposite would be true. Okay, so for the tracks, you really should be using a wash to create your rust effects on top of the metal, because realistically the tracks would get rusty, but where there is wear and tear, where the tracks are meeting the ground as this tank is moving around, those would stay relatively clear of rust, because the rust would get abraded off as it moves across the ground. Versus in the recesses, where they're not making contact with the ground, and maybe they're not making contact with each other, right? Because pieces of metal that are constantly wearing against each other, the friction keeps them clear of oxidization. And so for the gas tanks and such, really realistically, the rust should be accruing at the bottom of the tank and in the recesses of the ribbing of the texture on the gas tanks. And so, yeah. Now, I'm not against all this rust. I mean, this is, obviously a very interesting look you want to pull off, and I think you should give it a try. But look at, even like, World War II wreckage, where there's still tanks and they're just completely rusted solid. Draw some inspiration from those kind of references for, how this guy would look if he was just kind of completely rusty. But if he was still working, then wherever contact is made with metal, that still would be clear, but inside recesses and such, and you would also have streaking possibly, and you know what I mean, and like the where the hatches are, where the hatches kind of clatter up against each other and slam down, or where a hand is constantly pulling at it, or these kind of things, like where the actual wear and tear would be, that could possibly pull the rust off of a surface. These are all little things to consider when weathering a vehicle like this, and I think it's awesome. thanks for sending that in, Caw King. Hopefully that kind of helps. Hopefully kind of, you know, gives you a bit of an idea on where to direct some of that weathering for as far as, you know, like how it kind of would look, you know, somewhat realistic fashion. Where are we in the comments? Raziel, here's a question for corn stuff. Makes me think of blood dries fast, so some fresh blood is cool, but how would you make drying encrusted blood that looks realistic? I do have a few videos on doing dried, crusty looking blood. I think there's one or two, I think, in the vault. But essentially, you just want to work within dark browns and maybe with a hint of red. Something like, for example, what is it? Mornfang brown? No, Rhinox hide. Rhinox hide, and you can actually add a little bit of, say, Mephiston red and build up like that. So you start off, you know. And also you can take like Rhinox hide, thin it down, and actually deliberately allow tide marks. Like you thin it down to like a shade kind of, or a wash kind of consistency, but don't wash an entire surface. Deliberately apply it like you would blood. Let it dry, allow those tide marks to happen, and that will give you that kind of dried blood kind of look, because, you know, as blood on a surface would dry out and there would be tiding, and you know what I mean. And so, you know, again, but how old is the blood? Well, blood probably wouldn't last entirely that long. And in fact, blood over time, especially if more and more blood is building up on the surface, would end up looking a lot like rust. So, you know, a metal surface with a lot of blood on it, probably with a lot of old blood, would look like just a rusty metal surface. So, something to consider. Sorry, I'm hiccuping and burping at the same time. Dark Commission. Old blood goes black or very dark black red. Yeah, like a dark brown. Yeah. I think Rhinox hide is probably one of the better colors, because it's a dark brown, but it has a lot of red qualities to it. Like when you compare it next to Dryad bark, which is just a dark brown, and you compare the two, you see that Rhinox hide has more red in it. And it's what I like to use. Rhinox hide is, I break that down to a shade wash, and I actually shade red with it. So for anybody else out there who, you know, looking for some tips and tricks. Reziel, so maybe I'm not looking for true realism. Well, I don't know. That's hard to say. It's really what you're looking for, buddy. It's really what you're looking for. It's, you know, it's what it's you're only limited by your imagination, and you know, what do you imagine, right? But do you want it to stay within the realm of realism? Because if you want to convince a viewer who is not familiar with what your concept is, if you can ground it in things that occur naturally in the world, the viewer has an easier time making the leap with you to the extreme example of what you're thinking of or what you want to express within that piece, right? That's the easiest way to go about it. So that's why oftentimes when I say we kind of stay within realism as far as some things, that is why. Because you want to help the viewer make that leap with you into this little world of make-believe, to envision that scenario, that particular slice of fantasy, you know, that might look real. And, you know, so, you know, that's why we go for realism in these instances, because where we want the viewer to immediately translate real world information, which is sitting in the back of the brain, what we know, what we often see in the real world, which we've seen everywhere. We want to see that on these little things, and that's what convinces us. And that's why really great looking models and miniatures, and, you know, like even scale World War II kits that have really great weathering, and they use all sorts of crazy ass techniques and stuff like that, and you're like, wow, how'd they do that? And, you know, and you find out it's something really kind of ridiculous, and you're like, what the heck? But at that particular scale, that particular effect works and creates the look at a distance that we all have seen in photos and movies, and, you know what I mean? And so that's often why it occurs. So yeah. Dark Commission, Typhus Corrosion, and Rise of Rust Dry Brush is my go-to for iron-based corrosion. Yep. I don't use a lot of Typhus Corrosion. I don't use a lot of Rise of Rust either. Because when I'm going for either one effect, well, Typhus Corrosion, if I want that grittiness, like that actual grit in it, then yeah, I use typhus corrosion. I don't use Rise of Rust that often. Because when I'm doing rust effects, even on metal, I usually bust into orange and brown, make shade washes out of them. I end up take whatever color I'm looking for, and I make it into a shade wash, and then I apply it. So I don't bother using a lot of the technicals. The technicals are great, don't get me wrong, and they're nice, fast ways of getting to some effects. But if I want more color depth, I end up just breaking the color down into a shade wash and apply it in that. You know, essentially it's like creating like a lot of glazes, but I just apply it massively over some areas and allow it to creep within recesses and act like how I want it to act within a particular color, right? So, Raziel, could use my Vallejo Burnt Umber. Probably seems similar. Sure. Mikey R, I'd like to say Hull Red for dried blood. Hull Red. What particular paint line is Hull Red? Raziel, Hull Red is a great color. What paint line is Hull Red? I'm not familiar with that name. Hull Red. Raziel, typhus corrosion will murder a brush if you're not careful. Really, never had a problem with it. But mind you, though, I mean, like, yeah, if you're using something like typhus corrosion, you're not using your good sharp pointy brushes, your good pointed brushes to apply those effects. Good pointed brushes should only ever do good pointy work. Washing, dry brushing, those should all have their own brush for those particular things. And so like a dry brushing brush should never be used for anything other than dry brushing, because you're going to beat the crap out of the brush. And, you know, dry brushing brushes tend to be the shortest lifespan of brush in your painting arsenal. So yeah, but you're better off having, like, even when I'm painting, I have a brush just for drawing the dollop of paint out of the paint pot. I only have one brush for that. And then I use my other brushes, whatever I'm doing particular task, and I draw from there. But otherwise, I only have one brush that draws the paint. Just the way I work. It's just the way I work. A brush for a task, you know. Because some tasks are hard on a brush, and some tasks require a brush last as long as possible. And if, you know, you're not made of unlimited resources, you know, you don't want to be spending tons of money on good brushes all the time. So, you know, yeah. Raziel, Hull Red is a Vallejo model color Panzer series. Mikey R, sorry, Chris, it's a Vallejo VMC paint. Yes, very cool. Awesome. So 10 after, I think we're done. Yeah, we're pretty much done, right? Yeah, the only other email I got is from Games Workshop, and it's advertising Abaddon. Wow. Who knew? Who knew he was coming out today? Who knew? I'm just joking. I'm being an ass. So, I want to thank you guys for tuning in today. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, ring that bell, and join me on waythebrush.com. You know, if you guys enjoyed, you know, this whole thing, let people know, and feel free to share this video around as well. You know, for people who are looking for painting help and are confused by a lot of crap. And, you know, that's why I'm here. I'm here to help guide you guys through this miasma of information that is out there, you know, because some people are just like, wow, it's too much crap. Like, what's this about? What's this about? And so I try my best. Sometimes I don't always have the answers, but I rely on a lot of you guys, because a lot of you guys have information as well. And that's what this is all about. This is all about sharing the information and, you know, building everybody up. And I know that there are people out there who are brand new to this hobby, and they're just kind of scared to answer, because a lot of times they answer a question on the internet and it seems like they're met by venom right away. It's just, you know, don't you know what this is about? Don't you? What are you, a noob? And, you know, so people are often very, very intimidated by asking questions, and that's not the environment I want to create here, and have not endorsed, you know, for many, many years. So I'm all about helping you guys and making sure that you guys enjoy this hobby as much as I have, because I think it is just good karma to, if you guys in some fashion have made it possible for me to do this as a living and make a living and be happy, then I guess I should help you guys enjoy the hobby and reciprocate. And, you know, so that's what it's all about. It's all about happiness, and, you know, just trying to be good people. Just be a good person, for God's sakes. How hard is that? How hard is it to be a good person? For God's sakes. So if you are brand new to this hobby, you have a question, maybe you want help on a color scheme, maybe you just want to show off what you're working on, send your questions to Kris@miniwargaming.com. It's in the description below. Of course, also waythebrush.com is in the description below, and that is the central hub of all this silliness. It has links to all the social medias, the Instagrams, Twitters, and of course Discord. Discord has been fantastic. Join us on Discord. We usually jump in there after the show and just kind of talk a bit and, you know, what have you. It gets a little bit colorful, so be mindful because we all just speak our minds in there. But I fully encourage speaking our minds. And so, you know, that kind of thing intimidates you, then stay out, you know. But otherwise, if you're brave enough and manly enough or womanly, if you're brave enough, join us. Waythebrush.com also has links for t-shirts if you want to help support the cause and help support the channel. And of course, look like a connoisseur of all that is good and holy in this world. They're wearing a Way the Brush t-shirt. And of course, for everybody else who has purchased themselves a shirt, send me a picture of yourself in your shirt and I will add it to the Monkey Shrine, which is also at waythebrush.com. And of course, waythebrush.com also has links for Patreon. Patreon support has been fantastic, and a big thank you to all my patrons who currently support me, as a lot of these upgrades and upkeeps would not be possible without their support, without your support. And so always a big thank you to that. And if you're considering supporting by Patreon, I only ever charge per Way of the Brush episode. I do produce other videos, but I don't ever charge for them. I only charge per Way of the Brush, and I only do Way of the Brush once a week. So how many weeks in a month? That's how many times. And I usually miss shows too. So, you know, I'm not asking for much. I don't ask for much, you know. And of course, yeah, so big thank you to all my patrons and anybody considering future patron support. A big thank you to you as well. Big thank you to Guymere Alfer, aka Carl, aka Beer and Blood Bowl. That's his YouTube channel. Check him out if you love yourself some beer and you love yourself some Blood Bowl, for creating the email jingles that we love and put a smile on our faces before every email segment. Always a big thank you to Carl. just taking the time out of his busy day to create the jingles. Is that it? That's usual spiel? Yeah. So join us on waythebrush.com. It's all the links are at waythebrush.com. And what else? Was that it? That was it. Going to be at Adepticon. Doing 2 classes at Adepticon. So if you're going to be at Adepticon and you haven't signed up for any classes, or you know, we're gonna do kind of like this at Adepticon. And in fact, I might bring Abaddon with me as well. Yeah, I'll probably bring this guy with me because I'll probably still be working on him this week. So I'm going to bring him with me as well. So if anybody's looking to, you know, maybe get a peek at him, although I think a few other painters might be bringing him as well, but either way, that's what I'll be working on. So who knows how far I'll be when I get to Adepticon this week. And of course, I'll be doing it, possibly showing him in the class, and maybe I'll just work on him during the class. I don't know. Again, Way the Brush, the show as the class is wide open. It's really all about you guys, answering your questions, helping you guys, and you know, providing a little bit of entertainment. I'm done. I'm gonna put my lightsaber away. So, yeah, I want to thank you guys. Again, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, and share the video. And I will see you guys later. Take care of your brush. They'll take care of you, and I will see you guys next week. Next week? No, not next week. No, there will be a show next week because I'll be at Adepticon. Duh. So, I'm going to put this away before I hurt myself. Wow. Wow, wow. Yeah, I'm going to end up knocking something over. Make an Adepticon paint-along stream. I don't think the streaming is very good at the convention center, so I'm afraid that would be kind of a long shot. I mean, I am going to be filming the sessions. When I post them, who knows, because it's just certain things are just not going to be quite as how I want them. But yeah, so it might be a little bit challenging, but definitely, I'll be definitely filming the event, and yeah, so it'll be fun. Regardless, it'll be fun. And so I look forward to seeing a lot of you guys at Adepticon. I'm not sure exactly why you're still here and watching to the end of this little thing. Go paint something. Go be productive. Enjoy the rest of this beautiful Saturday. I wish I could show you guys outside right now, but she's nice. I mean, you can kind of see a bit of the sunlight coming through right there. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. Beautiful day. I don't know. I'm done. I'm done rambling. I'm getting the heck out of here.